Our first filming project was our preliminary task. The preliminary task is a simple way of testing out with filming and editing for the first time. For this, we have to film a sequence of two actors exchanging a piece of dialogue. However, we had to incorporate 3 filming conventions we have learnt in the previous couple of weeks. There were 3 techniques we included, which were match on action, 180 degrees, and shot reverse shot. Before we started, I drew out a storyboard. I learnt that storyboards are very useful. It is easy to film the scene wrong without referring to it. Obviously, mine was only 30 seconds long, so it wasn't crucial, but when I come to do my final opening, I want to make sure I have everything planned out on my storyboard. From filming, I used 2 actors, 1 camera, a tripod, and a Mac computer for iMovie editing. I wrote out a short dialogue based on an interview for my actors, and I used a tripod so I could get steady shots and smooth pans across the room. It was my first time using iMovie, and I really enjoyed it. And I was surprised that it was more simple than I thought it was. I have learned from next time to take more shots than you need in filming because they can always be edited out or used in between shots. I think that all my filming conventions were successful. However, in my first shot, I filmed it too close in the frame, so therefore I cut off Lauren's feet and had too much headroom. Next time I'm filming, I will close in the frame and make sure that I don't have loads of space at the top of the room. Overall, I was pleased with the preliminary task because I have learned so much and found that it was fun to film and edit. I also found it satisfying watching the end product. Now I'm going to pass over to Lauren.
As you have just heard, Isadora has just spoken about her preliminary evaluation, and now I'm going to talk about all the different stuff that we have learnt from filming and editing our prelim to our film opening now. So firstly, since our preliminary task, we have learnt how to take enough shots to be able to choose what is appropriate for each scene. We have also learnt different types of shots, so bird's eye, close up, mid shots, low shots, and pan shots. As before, when we were doing these on our preliminary task, we kept on doing things wrong, whereas with our film opening, we managed to get it to the T. We also learned about good planning, so storyboarding to every single shot and movement there is. We learned how to structure our time correctly, so we gave ourselves enough hours and roughly estimated how long we should take for each shot. And as of the continuity as we didn't have to refilm. From doing our preliminary task, we had never used iMovie before, so it took us longer because we didn't know how to change sound or edit the picture, edit the clips, or use the tools like transition shots or adding sound effects, or adding title sequences as well. In the process of this, we learned a lot of conventions of the thriller films. So we had to watch thriller film openings and we had to read about different conventions, which makes the audience feel in certain ways depending on what scene it is. We also had to test out sounds and shots of conventions of thriller outside of our real filming for our film opening. To conclude, overall, as you can see, we have definitely gained more experience and confidence in the different technologies that we have used and how to film and be confident in what we have filmed and produced and edited.